of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter in for D-Mac, but don't worry, everybody. D-Mac was in the studio a few minutes ago. He's got the Red Wings alumni golf outing today, so obviously had to be there for that. He did lay down a little video that we will play coming up in about, 13 minutes or so from now. I'm back from vacay with the fam. And obviously, this weekend was probably the most intense non-football sports weekend that we have seen in a very, very long time here in Detroit. Lindsey, what's up, man? You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock, man. Exciting weekend. Basketball was in full effect.
It was. Summer League. Lindsey was getting your fix. It was incredible. Obviously, it was incredible. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there and get your thoughts out there. Ryan's reaction. Neal, tell me how to feel. You know how I'm going to tell you how to feel. You know, especially with the details. And look, there are a couple things I want to get to. I do want to give you something, Lindsey. Let me do it this way. I came back from vacation. We went to Philadelphia for the week. My wife's a teacher. There's got to be like an educational component to it. But let me put this out there right now, everybody, because, Spenny, I'm hot about this one. Philadelphia is the most overrated city in America. You know what? Philadelphia sucks. Give me Detroit. Give me Detroit over Philadelphia 50 times out of 49. Detroit's a far better city than Philadelphia. And look, everything closes at 8 or 9, even on a Friday or Saturday. It sucks there. It's dirty. All of it. If they didn't sign the Constitution there, it would be nothing, Lindsey. You played in the league. You've been. Let me guess. You didn't do anything in Philadelphia, did you? That was a stay in the room stop on the road trip. And don't tell me it wasn't, Lindsey.
No, listen, man.
I don't care that they filmed Rocky there either. I don't care.
I do. That's important. It's a very, very important historical fact about Philly that Rocky was filmed there.
Cool story.
Statue out there.
Cool story, bro. They got a statue of a movie. We got RoboCop statue. Same deal.
RoboCop
not the same.
Yeah,
not even close to the same.
I know.
Thanks,
I'm just playing.
RoboCop's awesome.
But RoboCop was awesome.
Yeah.
The original one was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
All these redos sucked.
Yeah, kind of like Rocky.
No, what?
Dude, once they got past 4.
Well, maybe they made 4 good ones, great ones. I mean,
but anyway, I'm not here to debate Rocky, RoboCop. Let's not lose track of the prize here. Philly is overrated.
You have
dirty, trash city.
You have to know. Oh God.
It is.
You have to know what you're in. You're in there for vacation, but you have to know like what to do, what foods to go eat. You have to go.
As long as you go do it by 9 o'clock, because everything closes.
Well, it depends on the areas you're in. So I was with Rasheed Wallace. So we were in some seedy areas that stayed open a little later. You know what I mean? We went to some like one entrance, one exit bars, and they had really great food like that. Philly cheesesteaks were off the chain. Then we went to this little place that...
Give me a Coney over a Philly cheesesteak 20 times out of 19,
Neal,
Lindsey.
stop
No,
it.
you stop
No,
it, Lindsey.
Neal.
Lindsey,
not
come
even
on.
comparable.
Come on, Lindsey.
Neal, a Coney over a Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah, 100% yes. They're mid. They're mid.
I'm going to personally take you to Philly to the cheesesteak place in the hood.
It doesn't count too if you go to Philly with Sheed. That's different.
That does count.
No,
I
it
need
doesn't.
to know somebody that knows the ways of the land, and then the lay of the land that can take me to the places that you need to go to. And the Philly cheesesteaks that she got, we got the whole plain cheesesteaks on the way back home, and they were phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Doesn't carry a city, Lindsey. Doesn't carry Give me Detroit all the time over Philly. All the time.
Cheesesteaks carry the city. Sorry.
No.
Philly. That's why
No,
it's
they
called a
don't.
Philly cheesesteak.
That's true.
Do we have a Detroit hot dog?
Got pizza? Detroit style pizza.
Detroit style
not known
pizza
for-
sucks.
Not if you're Lindsey. You buy into the marketing hype. That's all you got to do is market something well to
Detroit is
Lindsey,
not-
and Lindsey would be like, "Oh, that's cool."
No, I love Detroit, but we're not known for pizza. Are we known for pizza? We're Little Caesars, but I mean, that's just, that's not real. I mean, authentic pizza.
No, Detroit far better city than Philadelphia.
And I'm
Just
not-
because you know what Philadelphia is. Here's what it is. And look, Boston's one of my favorite cities in America. Like all
Boston?
the history and stuff like that. It's awesome. You know what Philadelphia is? Philadelphia is shitty Boston. That's what it is. Like everything's dilapidated. Like they signed the Constitution there. How about a little effort? Like let's clean some of the stuff up there.
Neal.
Boston, man. Boston's awesome. Philadelphia sucks.
What is so awesome? Boston
Yes.
sucks.
No. Boston, if like history. What do you got, Spenny?
I was just gonna say I've never been to either, so
Don't go to Philly.
Don't go to Boston.
Don't go to Philly.
Boston, just before they redid the arena, the Boston Garden still had holes in the damn window when we went to change. In modern times.
No, don't get me wrong. Like the Boston Garden sucks. Yeah, it sucked.
right,
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
with you on that, Lindsey. 100%. I Pistons fan too, bro.
Yeah, okay.
For dead spots on the floor and all that kind of stuff.
And
like
they
I
were
know.
notorious for being one of the most cheatingest organizations in the history
100%.
of sports. So how
I'm
can you
talking about
possibly say that?
I'm
Boston-
talking about the city. Though.
That's part of the city. That's part of the
Like,
city. You're associated with your sports teams as part of the city. So cheating ass Celtics just affiliates with the cheating ass city.
Yeah, no, Boston is a great city. The Celtics,
I'm not
trash
buying it.
organization.
I'm
They
not
won a lot
buying
of
it.
titles. But
I'm not buying it. Boston sucks. I'd rather go to Philly than Boston.
no, but there is that. Just wasn't a fan. I just wasn't a fan of Philadelphia. And
That's
it's the
fair.
second time I went there, and I told you guys this. I went there for the Army-Navy game last year and was less than impressed, but I'm a kind of person, Lindsey, I give things a second shot. So we rolled back in there. It's just, you have all that history there and everything great that happened, and like the buildings were cool. Like if you're into that, like, oh, this building was here in the 1700s. This pizzeria we went at was in the 1700s. Yeah, that's cool. But here's an idea. Like, keep it up. Do something with it. Like, and I'm tired of that, Lindsey. Like, Detroit are like, people in Detroit are like, oh, some of the buildings are run down. And go through Philadelphia. Take a look. Take a look at what you see. I'm tired of that shit, Lindsey.
Well, our city's just coming back, honestly, right? Mm-hmm. So it takes every city a time to restore themselves. So Boston is maybe in that.
They're going on
process.
2 centuries. Like, fix it up already.
Neal, we were going on 2 centuries.
The district will be up before Philadelphia comes back to relativeness, all right?
All I know is you picked the wrong things to do in Philly. You didn't go to any cheesesteak place in the hood.
That's fair. Well, I hit Meek Mill up, but he never hit me back.
I don't think that's the person.
could have went
you
out
wanna
on the
go-
bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meek didn't hit me back.
that's fair.
He was busy, and that's fine.
I'm not a Boston guy. I'm sorry. I'd have Philly any day.
Yeah. So, I'm sure 1776 was cool in Philly, but it's been all downhill since then. I can confirm that. But no, obviously a ton of stuff to get in. Happy to be back in the fold. Red Wings, the Tigers, the draft, a combined no-hitter, the NBA Summer League. Wembanyama's good, man. I'm so mad about that.
Woo!
Lindsey, I watched 6 possessions of the, quote, bad game on Friday night and was
Yeah.
like, damn.
I've been on Facebook arguing with everybody I know about this, and everybody's killing the kid. I'm talking about people that some of the people that I used to respect their basketball opinions, because a couple of them were pros, and they were like, a lot worries me about this guy. He doesn't rebound outside his area. I'm watching his motor. It's like, I'm like, dude,
It's
come on,
summer
bro.
league, man.
Bro, it's summer league. Right. Like the dude, he had one practice. One practice.
The only issue that I had with this game, and you and I were talking about this, like timing of screens, which
Yeah.
is something that you have to do.
Right.
It's like driving a car. In order to be good at it, you have to go do it.
Even in
Even
in the bad game, supposedly bad game he had, I watched a couple of possessions where the kid made passes that I haven't seen anybody but Jokic make. He made those type of passes, and I was like, oh yeah, he's the real deal. Like, the NBA is going to be in trouble if this guy stays healthy and keeps getting stronger. Because I think people fail to realize the Greek Freak wasn't the Greek Freak when he first got here.
No doubt. No doubt.
But everybody tends to forget that he was a scrawny little kid that Milwaukee drafted, that he was an afterthought until he started becoming who he is.
Right. So it's stuff we're going to get into. Asur Thompson, we have Lindsey here, so we are going to touch on that. But the meat of the show is going to be the Alex DeBrincat thing. And it was funny to me because, and you guys know I keep score. And when you listen around town, and you guys know what I mean when I say when you listen around town, boy, that tune changed real quick, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, all of a sudden there's tweets now about it's a celebration and sirens and stuff like that, and DeBrincat's coming home and all that kind of. Really? Because weren't those the same people that were just sitting there crushing the Red Wings and crushing Steve Yzerman? Were they not?
They were.
All the exact same people. But now it's coming home. Now it's a celebration. Guys,
it's a celebration.
Look, it's a celebration. Guys, this was easy to see when, again, we went through the numbers and the why. And it was funny to me. I don't know if you guys saw it on social media, like mixing up with some of the fans. Islanders fans were coming at me on Twitter. I don't know how they got to me, but they did. They started coming at me on Twitter, yeah. And they're like, well, it's clearly going to be the Islanders. Like, guys, you got $400,000 of cap space. Mm-hmm. This way, it was always going to go down this way. It was a master class in supply and demand, as we talked about. He got his terms. Steve Yzerman got the terms on the contract, got the terms he wanted on the trade, all of it. And we're going to go piece by piece through it, and I'm going to give you guys the reasons why. Not just, hey, tweet with a siren, he's coming home, I'm a hockey expert now. No. Like, these are the discussions we've been having. Steve Yzerman, as Darren McCarty said, and we have a little video from D-Mac, kind of his reaction to it that we're going to play. D-Mac will be back here tomorrow. We'll be getting into all of that, and we'll be taking your thoughts. There is no doubt about that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. AC says, good morning, folks. Good morning, AC. Good to see you back in here. But jump in to the discussion. Brandon Katz says, I love this. Here we go. That's a bad take by Neal. DeBrincat. I haven't even read the comment. Usually I pre-read these things before I read them.
Yeah.
I'm going in blind on this one.
That's what it's all about.
That's a bad take by Neal. DeBrincat was desperate to get out of Ottawa, and he took a deal below market value. DeBrincat isn't a two-way player. Wrong, Brandon. I'll break this down for you coming up. It's very, very easy. Again, guys, I'll put all the pieces together for you. And I don't proclaim to be a hockey expert, but I am pretty good with the numbers. And guess where we are right now? The numbers tell you what's going to happen, what is happening, and what will happen. And I'll give it to you.
He's home.
He's home. We brought him home, Lindsey. We brought him home.
That's what everybody was asking for, most people, right?
They were.
Yeah. Hey, we gave the people what they want.
We give the people
and the people still aren't happy.
Yep.
Brandon Katz will never be happy.
I guess not. I don't know.
Dude just lives a miserable existence, man.
How's the pick business going?
Yeah, we'll see.
Did he get you right in the WNBA?
Did he get you right? I'm not sure, but just in case. There you go. Expert handicapper.
There he is. All right. Well, you handicapped this trade too, Brandon, right? It wasn't going to happen. Yzerman wasn't going to do it.
No way DeBrincat signs less than $9 million.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. So, again, we're going to get into this. When we come back, we're breaking this thing down. I'm going to go line by line and give you all what they want. Also, we'll hear from D-Mac when we come back. The Sports Marketing Agency spreads awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This Is the S Word, helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
What's up, Woodward Sports? Big D Energy. It's Monday. Obviously, big things. And, you know, I'm out on the golf course. Actually, today is the Detroit Red Wings alumni golf outing, but I had to stop in and say, Alex DeBrincat, what do you say? I'm wearing this. Hashtag Wiser Plan 1919. Trust it. Now you got your goals. It's what you're going to have to do. He's going to do what he's going to do. Now, I'll be in tomorrow. We're going to be at Feldman's. Right? We're going to go all over this, but every Red Wing fan out there, I'm going to give you a pass, okay? All you guys that were panicking and girls that were panicking through the offseason, through the draft, because you didn't get what you wanted. Remember what I always say. Darren McCarty says, Steve Yzerman will give you and I what we want, but not when we want it, when he wants it. So, Alex DeBrincat, there's your 40-goal guy at the money. I'll look to Neal. He can talk about that, what a deal it was, and you really didn't give away anything else. Couple good young prospects. Neal's guy, Kubalik's gone. So let's go. Get excited. Get ready. We'll talk about maybe line combinations. A lot of Red Wings talk, reasons to get excited. Continue to watch these guys. Big D Energy. I'll see you tomorrow live. Feldman's, D-Mac. I'm out.
All right, that was Darren McCarty back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We'll be back with D-Mac tomorrow. Neal, Ruhl, Lindsey, Hunter in for Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. The deal is done. Alex DeBrincat is a Detroit Red Wing. And look, there's hundreds of ways that we can go. They give up Dominic Kubalik, which, you know, who I'm sad to see go. But in the meantime, you know, is a 20-goal guy that's like $2.5 million a year.
And a free agent.
And a free agent after the end of next year. Sabrango as well. You know, I know, like, the fashion is to, like, kind of ish on people that you trade away and stuff like that. But looks to be, like, his ceiling, I guess, is a solid NHL player.
Yeah, for sure.
Not an all-star or anything like that, but, you know, probably could have a career. A conditional first-round pick, which is important. We'll discuss that. And a fourth-round pick in 2024. Lindsey. Again, on the business side of this, here's the first angle I'll go at. Mm-hmm. The conditional first-round pick. So the condition on that, the Red Wings have their pick. They have Boston's pick in the first round next year.
Screw Boston.
The Red Wings have the option to choose which pick they want to give to Ottawa. So they hold the cards.
Right.
Boston obviously had the best record, most points in the history of the league. Are they going to like fall? Are they going to do like the Rams and win the Super Bowl and then next year be picking at 3? No.
No, I doubt it.
No, they're not. But it does. If it does happen, you have the option. Options, Lindsey. That's a constant with what Steve Yzerman does. Options, flexibility. That's why he could do this. And the bottom line through all of it, Lindsey, Steve Yzerman waited Ottawa out.
Right. Well, if you look at the history of most good GMs, they do give themselves options. And when you're hamstrung by bad contracts and things like that, you have to find other ways to make it work. You have to find other scenarios to try to get good players, get rid of dead money, all types of things that people don't understand that the GMs have to do. You know, I've been fortunate enough to work with some GMs and understand that and watch the process. But it's a lot of doing your due diligence and having a plan, but knowing that you're going to defer from that plan if something else comes about, which is what Yzerman seemingly is doing. You know? So,
right.
He's a good. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and we're never gonna, as fans are never gonna be happy with whatever you do. It's just.
Yeah, and I guess like my overriding problem was the media in this town, where, you know, they jumped onto this narrative, and now the deal got done, and now it's a celebration, and now it's where was the ski mask for Stevie and stuff like that. Like, guys, again, going back to it, it was well known. The two teams that were in the mix for this were the Islanders and the Red Wings. The Red Wings have tons of cap space. The Islanders had $400,000. Now, were there clips they could have made to their roster to maybe get to the number? Yeah.
Right.
But never forget who the boss was in this discussion. And when DeBrincat comes out and says, I want to go to Detroit, it's a wrap, Lindsey.
Right.
It's a wrap.
I wish it was that easy in some other sports.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But yes, for the people asking in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, the Red Wings get to choose which first-round pick they send to Ottawa. So say the Bruins have a Rams-like season, and they end up picking third, which will not. I'll beat you to it, everybody. I'll beat you to it real quick, which will not happen, obviously. But if it did, the Red Wings have that option. And next segment, I'm going to get into the contract thing with Yzerman and what he did and what DeBrincat did and address all the stuff that people are talking about, as far as that goes. But the moral of the story is, and for the people that say, Yzerman doesn't deserve credit for this trade, Spenny, I can't help some of these people, man.
I don't know, man. Like I'm telling you, you just find something to be angry about. But Yzerman got the deal done. He's strong-armed. He strong-armed Ottawa, and he strong-armed DeBrincat. Like, DeBrincat said he wanted 8 years. It's so much money. No, here's 4 at under 8 a year. Like,
and DeBrincat played a part in that too, because when we get into the contract thing, the next segment, I'll tell you the reasons why. The reasons why he was doing it. So again, you get back to it. How's he going to fit? You have a very sneaky good first line. Mm-hmm. Is it a Stanley Cup champion first line? No. No, it's not there yet, because, look, we can't sit here and say, well, Larkin's a 2C on a Stanley Cup champion, and then all of a sudden you're going to say, oh, well, he's a 1C now. Like, you have to be consistent with all of that in the way that you break things down. But Flannel, you've been a guy that was kind of critical of Yzerman. Yeah. I'm happy I'm here to do the show because I want the official Sam Flannel response.
Shocker.
What was no, I mean, this was obviously a great trade. I'm very, very happy with how the offseason went. When it comes to this upcoming season, I think it's pass fail. If the Red Wings make the playoffs, if it was a success, and if they don't, it was not. But I think bringing Alex DeBrincat here makes it exponentially more likely that the Red Wings will make the playoffs. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they make a little bit of noise. Like you said, I don't know if it's a Stanley Cup contending first line, but when you really break it down, that's a playoff first line, I would say.
And I would agree with that, Lindsey. And really, look, we can talk about prospects and development and things like that all we want. We always talk about the NBA as a players' league. You've said that many, many times. It's a players' league. Every sport is a players. Golf is a players' league. I mean, you got to be a good player. And they got a very, very good player. Here's a little stat for everybody to chew on, by the way. Alex DeBrincat, in the last 3 years, 12th most goals in the NHL. Period. End of story. That's it. That's all, man. That's all I need to say.
Right. Hey, I'm going with D-Mac. When D-Mac said the Red Wings were officially off the clock and this is their playoff year, right? Mm-hmm. That's what D-Mac said. Hey, we got to hang on D-Mac's word, right?
Yeah.
So Sam Flannel's reiterating what D-Mac said. They should be a playoff team. I agree. And this move solidifies that, right?
Now, and that is the whipsaw to all of this right now. Right. The expectations, and look, right or wrong, the expectation, that is that right now. They don't make the playoffs now, especially in the Detroit court of public opinion, sports fans courtroom. They don't make the playoffs, Lindsey. There's going to be problems, and people will be pissed, no doubt. But that's how you get to the playoffs, everybody. You go get good players.
Absolutely.
And I'm content with the package. Again, am I sad to see Kubalik go? Because I was a big Kubalik guy, yes. 20 goals at $2.5 million. You know what Kubalik is to me? He's like a deeply discounted Bertuzzi.
Okay.
You feel me on that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, he's way more than 50% of Bertuzzi. Mm-hmm. So I am sad to see him go. But we had to give something. And it was funny to me because I didn't have to wait long, Spenmo, to see the very first comment under one of the trade tweets. Oh, man, wish we didn't have to give away Kuba. You got to give something. Yeah.
Not getting him for nothing. You got this guy without giving up Johnny Burgers, cider. Well, not cider. It was Johnny Burgers, Mazer, or Lombardi, which that's a win. You didn't give up 2 of your top 3 prospects. You didn't give up anybody in the pipeline. You kept all of your legitimate prospects in your pipeline, and you got a 40-goal score.
It's the equivalent of your Baseball America score did not change. Mm-hmm. That's what the Red Wings did. Like just in terms of prospects and what they do. RJ Graham in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Everyone trusts the Yzer plan 1919. Other stations saying we're robots because we like what Yzerman's doing. They hate it because Yzerman did not make the big splash last week. Masterclass move. Well, RJ Graham, I don't know. Like the sentiment's changed all of a sudden. It's a celebration on other outlets now. Really weird how that happened. Guys, this move was always going to go down this way. Always. Supply and demand. There was not enough demand. It was a 2-horse race. That was it. Is not today's price. Lindsey, I don't know what else I can do because I told the people this last week, right? Mark me on this, you guys. You guys are here. I don't make shit up. Like, you guys were here. I told you. I said, this is not over. This is still going to happen.
Yes, you did.
And Flannel, what was the line on that? Every day that goes by, what happens to the price?
Goes down.
That's it. That's all. It's easy to figure this stuff out, Lindsey.
Well, for some of us it is. For others, they complicate things because everybody's an expert when it comes to what our GMs should be doing, right?
Well, that is true. That's what we all do. But the problem is, Drake Cole, Neal, what is this dude, homie? Because, Drake, I took all these messages all day long from people. And I tried to explain, look, this is a long game going on. D-Mac and I sat in these chairs. I did the shows with Lindsey. Like, this was always going to go down this way. Always, man. That's where the tude's from. Because I'm pissed, and now I see, like, other media entities do a 180. Do an absolute 180. And now they want to be in the streets talking about, like, oh, instant playoff team, celebration. Yzerman, he should have wore a ski mask. That's the line I keep. He's been doing this all the time. Like, that's the tude, Drake. That's where the tude's coming from.
Oh, man.
I don't know what else to say, dude. Drake says the deal is done and we got a pure goal score at less than market prices. I do want to talk about the contract when we come back. Because that seems to be a hot topic of discussion, too, that DeBrincat made the deal because he took a less than contract. Let's discuss that when we come back. Hey, Sam Flannel, tell him about Lady Jane.
Absolutely, because I just went to Lady Jane's the other day, and they always had my hair looking this good, as always, because I have to look good when I do shows with studs like Spencer Raxter, Neal, Ruhl, and Lindsey Hunter.
Really?
And yes, and you can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you and one for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. We're talking Alex DeBrincat, the trade, everything that went around to it. Just kind of explaining the principles of patience, bringing the price down, and Brandon Katz, bro. This is here it is. I'll go ahead and lay this one down right now. It's a desperate take by Neal to be giving Yzerman credit for making a standard offer for a player who already asked out. DeBrincat made this deal happen, not Yzerman. No, Brandon, because if it were up to you and a lot of the other fans here in town, you'd have done the deal on draft night, given away pick number 9 and a high-level prospect. You would have done that. You called for it. People called for it. This deal was done by Yzerman. He will do what he wants to do and do things on his terms. Is that Steve Bott of me? I don't know. I'm just going by the history of the things that happened. He got the term. He got the number that he wanted. All of it. Which, let's talk about that, shall we, Lindsey?
Yes, we
The
shall.
contract, right? As far as DeBrincat goes. 4 years, $7.8 million AAV. So roughly $32 million. $31.5 million for 4 years. And when you break things down for DeBrincat, Lindsey, I see what he was doing, and I'm glad you're here because you went through this before. And while it's a different sport, money is still the same. That doesn't change. That's why you play the game. That's why I'm here. That's why you're doing the job you're doing today. Everybody out there listening to the show, that's the way that it works. So, Lindsey, as far as that goes, I want to address this because here's my thinking and the logic with DeBrincat and what he did. People will say, did he take less than market value? Maybe by a little bit. Maybe somewhere in that 8 to 9 million range is where he wanted to be.
Right.
The shorter term, I think that was mutual to both parties. Again, I don't know this. I don't have intimate knowledge of it. This is just me thinks. All right? I believe that DeBrincat wants another kick at the can as far as the free agency market, especially if he pops off. If he pops off here as the guy,
right.
Maybe he unlocks something with Larkin. Maybe he has 4 40-goal seasons or a 30-goal and 3 40-goal seasons. Maybe he does that. Then guess what he is in 5 years?
Free agent.
A free agent at 30 years old. Coming off 150 goals in 4 years.
And a Stanley Cup championship.
Hey.
there you go. Go all the way. Dream big, Spenny. It's the summer. So while a lot of
football.
Yeah, exactly. So while a lot of people are saying he took less than market value, remember too on this, there's a no trade clause attached to this that DeBrincat wanted. Wanted the no trade clause on there.
Mm-hmm.
Got the no trade clause. DeBrincat's proven he's big on that. Wants control, wants say of where he's going to go. Lindsey, that stuff comes at a price.
Yes.
Does it? You
Absolutely.
concede dollars to get control.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happens. That's why it's called a negotiation. And people always say, well, he didn't get market value. Well, this is called setting the market in a certain standard. You are what you negotiate. And in negotiations, the market changes. It just doesn't say, oh, these the type of guys are getting that type of money. It's going to change according to what you negotiate. And then, of course, guys of similar stature come behind you and try to negotiate as you did.
Right.
That's how the market value is set. It's not always set in stone. We're watching.
And it's not always about money, Lindsey.
It's not always about money.
It is always about money.
Well, the underlying thing is money, but then, like you said, he wants control. He wants control of his destiny.
And that comes at a price.
That always does.
It always
does.
has, and it always will.
Right.
Like, that's
Right.
the dynamic of it. So the people that are saying, and this is where DeBrincat comes into play, too. I actually give him a lot of kudos in that he's saying, look, I'm going to come here, and I'm betting on myself. I have the control.
Right.
And I'm betting on myself because what will happen? And here's another thing, too. Nobody in this town will say this in the media. Nobody will, because they just started talking about hockey 3 weeks ago in this town again. Here's the deal. And when you hear this later on in town, remember where they heard it first, okay? So here's the deal with it. Lindsey, the cap in hockey when COVID happened, they escrowed all the increases in the salary cap, right? They escrowed it. The cap in hockey is going to jump incrementally the next couple years. Right. DeBrincat's not an idiot. His agent's not an idiot. So in 4 years, when this cap goes up by 33%, especially if he's coming off 3 out of 4, 3 or 4 40-goal seasons.
And a Stanley Cup.
And a Stanley Cup, according to Spencer Raxter. But think about that, though, guys. Mm-hmm. Would you take $8 million a year when the probability is you'll be able to get 12 at that time?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
And for some of us, like we're back to Brandon Katz, who says that's a bad take because he took below market value, and then he goes to say Brady took a contract below market value for years, so did Mahomes. My guy, Brady, there are certain people that set the market. There are certain people that can dictate what they want. Those are two quarterbacks that could get what they want. But of course, Brady, the new
and I love how everyone always goes to the unicorn in every argument.
You're going to two guys that nobody else compares to. Nobody compares to these two guys.
Yeah. Brady always took less money.
Right.
Always.
Right. But he did that for a reason because he was making so much money everywhere else.
And he liked winning.
Right. Right. So I don't want to hear that catch. That's a bad take on your part, okay?
Jay Wilfan, Neal, sometimes you can't argue people's stupid takes. Like this. Brandon, you're having a bad day today, bro. The first round pick Detroit traded will likely be around 12 to 15 anyways. Brandon, they dictate which pick gets used. You think Boston's going to go from setting the NHL record in points to missing the playoffs? No. Ain't going to happen that way. They get to choose because of Yzerman and the deal he negotiated, Brandon. That didn't have anything to do with DeBrincat. That was Yzerman putting it into work right there. And again, you people would have traded 9 and one of the top tier prospects. We remember, guys. Step in here. Mm-hmm. Tell me if I'm full of shit at all ever. No. You saw the messages, man. You saw people's takes on this. It was out there. Like, it is. This was and it wasn't like a master class or anything like that. It was basic, Lindsey. Every minute DeBrincat stayed on the roster, his value went down.
Simple. It's simple.
Right. Like it all seems pretty basic. And now, when you look at it, if you're Alex DeBrincat, you're going to be 30, coming off of 4 40-goal seasons and
a Stanley
Cup championship in a league where the payroll's gone up by about 33%. So it stands to reason your $7.75 million is going to go up to 11, maybe 12-ish, and maybe you can juice that more if you take a shorter-term deal.
Yep, which is what he did.
I don't know what else there is to say, man. Pistons fan 11, DeBrincat was rocking the teal Pistons cap. And is it really? For real?
Yeah, I got the picture.
Do you really?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
That is pretty dope, actually. That is pretty. Jack Harrington, Cat's driving the Bozo bus today. I guess he is. I don't know. Yeah. Lindsey, what'd you think of the teal unis? Did you like that era?
They sucked. Awful. Hated them. They look better now they don't have to wear them.
Oh yeah, look at that. DeBrincat rocking the teal Pistons hat. That is pretty cool.
The hat's cool though. I didn't like the jerseys at the time. It just didn't sit right with me. And I guess because we sucked. It just didn't. Then they had that burgundy crap. Oh.
Yeah, the burgundy sucked.
The burgundy was rough.
The teal is cool though.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and I understand he was doing some media availability while the show was going on. Tommy Knocker says DeBrincat confirmed he's going to wear 93.
Nice.
12 obviously retired because of Sid Abel.
Mm-hmm.
91 should be retired, by the way. Next order of business, retire 91.
It's fair. And get Ozzy in the Hall.
Ozzy in the Hall of Fame.
Somebody mentioned remember the Vipers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I used to go to Vipers games. So it was awesome. When you got 5 kids, my dad would just take us to Vipers games instead of Red Wings games. It's a third of the price.
Pretty smart move.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Vipers games were hype.
They were, man. The Vipers did okay.
And they had cool colors.
They won a Turner Cup.
Yeah.
They changed the name of the street from 3 championship drive to 5 championship drive.
That's what it's all about.
I remember walking. Somebody had given me a bunch of hockey jerseys for free, so I would wear one so often. I came in with a Maple Leaf jersey on one day. Everybody was like,
They were killing you.
"What?
Don't ever wear that ish in here.
And I'm looking right like, what's the big deal? I had a Red Wings on yesterday. I mean, I got this on today. What's the big deal?
Yeah, I wore a Blackhawks jersey during one of our shows, and people got upset.
Ryan's reaction. I went to Detroit Rockers games back in the day. Where are the Detroit Turbo fans at? Paul and Gary Gate. Let's talk about it. Detroit Drive, man. I miss arena football in the town. No, but we're talking the Red Wings. We're talking Steve Yzerman, and when we get back from the break, it's time to come clean with it now too. Let's talk the flip side of the coin and the expectations. And for real, like, set it in stone. Where is everybody at with what they think that this team's going to be next year? Because I think they do have a top 20-ish line in the league. 15. Maybe you want to debate that. I don't know. I'll get Spenny's thoughts on, too. How do the lines fit? How are they going to operate? And how things will go with that. But, hey, the bottom line is Steve Yzerman's back. The Red Wings are making moves. They're trying to make it a playoff situation for the Red Wings next season. But some of the Yzerman naysayers, they need a guardian right now.
They do need a guardian because it's not going well for them. But if you need a guardian, we've got the place for you. That's Guardian Alarm. Because Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay out.
That's 1-800
Stay out.
One more time for the people in the back. Call them at 1-800
Stay out.
Stay out, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Lindsey, Hunter in for D-Mac. D-Mac at the Red Wings alumni golf outing. They got some stuff to talk about there today. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there, get your thoughts out there. We're talking the Alex DeBrincat trade. We will get to the Major League Baseball draft, by the way. The Detroit Tigers as well. All-Star break, they're 5.5 out of first, but they're behind 2 teams, and they're 11 games under 500. And choked a game away yesterday. Brutal loss yesterday. So we'll get into all of that, and we'll get into the Major League Baseball draft. Also, back-to-back series losses, by the way. Remember when they split that series at Texas, Spenmo?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, they're coming home. And Colorado and Toronto are here. Lost both series. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
They've been doing it all year.
I know.
What were we expecting?
And I have to call myself out because I said, hey, I'm going to take a free roll on this. I'm going to unemotionally watch and be in a pennant. We're not. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to be emotionally in. And Flannel, I can't. I can't emotionally get into it. I can't.
Oh yeah, this was definitely a homestand where I thought the Tigers could at the very least go 4-2, and both of Tarek Skubal's starts, Detroit just basically gagged all over themselves,
Yeah.
particularly yesterday. I mean, Alex Lang, 2 outs. Danny freaking Jansen hits the tying home run. It wasn't even Vlad Jr. It wasn't Bo Bichette. It was Danny Jansen. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that. Almago's back. I know.
Almago's back.
He had a 2-hit game.
He's back.
Hey, you know who is back, though? Riley Green. Mm-hmm. He looked good.
Yes, he did. And we are going to get into it. Speaking of Riley Green, we'll talk about the Major League Baseball draft a little bit later on. But we are talking Alex DeBrincat right here, right now, Lindsey. And I know that D-Mac has banged this drum even when the season ended, even before the DeBrincat deal. But Lindsey, right now, as you are, here, you live here. This is your home. This is where you stay. You'll keep up on the Red Wings to the best of your abilities through the basketball season. As a guy that works, does a lot of work in the basketball realm. Right here, right now, Lindsey Hunter, the Red Wings fan, transplanted Red Wings fan. You expect them to be in the playoffs next year now?
Absolutely. Like my man D-Mac said, they're off the clock. It's playoff time, right? It's playoff time. Playoff time for the Red Wings. Super Bowl time for the Lions. 8th seed for the Pistons.
Oh, you're going all the way.
Hey, baby.
April in the D.
Yeah, fire it up.
April in the...
All right, that's enough. That's enough. Ryan's reaction: 2 Stanley Cups or bust. All right, that's we're getting a little aggressive. But again, though, right here, right now, Sam Flannel. I'll go around the room on this. Right here, right now. Is it playoffs or bust for the Red Wings?
100% it is, because when you look at this season, who they had to give away, who was actually a contributing member last year, you're basically replacing Dominic Kubalik with Alex DeBrincat. And last year they were a 35-win team. They made all sorts of progress. You've got a first line with the likes of Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, Mo Sider, Jake Wallman, or Simon Edmondson, probably Jake Wallman. And that to me is a playoff level first line, plus all of the other supplementary pieces like Perron and Kopp and Shane Gotespear, like guys like that. That is a playoff team. It has to be. Or else, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad, I think the whole offseason was underwhelming. To me, it's pass-fail. Playoffs or none. But I think they will make it 100%.
So you got him on the Neal Ruhl's Jared Goff plan then, right?
That's exactly what I was alluding to. Pass-fail.
WoodwardSports.com chat with Ryan's reaction. I'm buying tickets. Don't waste my money or my time. So he's going all the way in. But what about this, Spencer? I'll pose this one to you. Chris says the Wings still have Boston, Toronto, Tampa, and Florida in their division alone. They're more than on their way, but unless one or more of those teams fall off completely, it will be a grind. Their division still is their division.
Division is still tough, but the East in general is not. Our division has all the powerhouses, and then you look around the rest of it, and it's like, okay, we can sneak in past these guys. Like Washington's not what they used to be. Pittsburgh's falling apart.
Philadelphia's still trash, just like their city.
Yeah, Philly's still trash. So yeah, I think it is playoffs or bust. I do. I think they need to get in there, and I think they will.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Flannel, let me come back to you on this one because I always like to do this, right? So it's playoffs or bust, right, for the Red Wings?
Yes.
Is it just like it's national championship or bust for Michigan?
Yes.
They're bust.
So you're in.
I'm in, yes.
So this is going to be a really good year for Sam Flannel.
Or a really bad year.
Yeah, or a really bad year.
And, I mean, playoff win for the Lions or bust while we're at it. Everybody thinks that, though, at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
I would hope so. All this hype, I'm here.
But Flannel, see, and here's where I go back to this. You're talking about a hell of a parlay here.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And parlays don't win. You get good odds on parlays for a reason.
No, I mean, I understand that, but they are, even though it would be unlikely, those are 3 separate teams and 3 separate sports, and I don't think any of those individual expectations are crazy. I think that is about what is expected across the board for these teams. I'm not saying they're all 3 going to hit it, but if they do, it wouldn't shock me to the point where I'm, like, knocked over or anything. Those should be the expectations for all those teams.
Jack Harrington says Philly is trash. Thank you. Also says the Metro is not what it used to be. The old I think hockey memories. I think the Metro division, don't you?
That's fair.
Stupid division. They have stupid division names now, man. They do. Come on. Just put it. And look, I don't want to be yell at the clouds guy, but come on, man. Metro. It's not a division name. It's not.
It's a conference name, Metro Conference. Heard of that before?
In college, yes. It's a very college name. I will give you that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and the people are getting their thoughts out there on everything. Chuck Brewer says, assuming most players are healthy, then yes, they should make the playoffs, but you can never foresee health, so I hate all or nothing takes. And Chuck, these are all under the guise of relative health, right? And DeBrincat, that is one thing, too, with DeBrincat. That cat doesn't miss games, man. He's out there, he plays.
I think he's played 82, was it 3 times? That's amazingly good, especially for a sport where you take that much of a pounding like hockey, especially Alex DeBrincat. I mean, he's undersized, right? But yet he still gets out there and plays every single day. You can't put a price on that.
Rad Dad Scott, the Wings added depth, physicality, goal scoring, and Neal's favorite, no more Nedeljkovic. And look, that's the baseline, Lindsey. If you wanted to be a playoff team, the first thing they had to do was get rid of Alex Nedeljkovic. You can't have guys out there that can't play. That was the first. Now as we look as a collective and we see the things that have happened with this Red Wings team, my biggest thing of why they are a playoff team now, the wheels were put in motion by getting rid of Alex Nedeljkovic. That's what's. Never forget that, Lindsey.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Never forget that. I spoke that into existence. Hey, and you know what? Going back to Drake's, yeah, I do have some too today, Drake. And it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily an "I told you so" Monday, because I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing the "I told you so," because it was always out there, whether or not you chose to consume it or not. That one's on you. Clompsaw says Devils, Canes, and Rangers are all contenders. Going back to Jack Harrington, I did want to tell you guys this, Spenmo. As I said, some Islanders fans were getting at me at Twitter and talking about how the Islanders are in play and they're going to land them and stuff like that. And I mentioned the fact they have no cap space. And then the dude says, what are you, new? Or what was his line? What are you, inept or something? And then gave me a list of 7 things that would have to happen for them to get the cap space. And I was like, okay, bro, that's all that has to happen?
Yeah,
good luck with your arena in the parking lot of a horse track.
And, shout out to Chad Fisher in the Woodward Sports chat, because there was more good news today. Larry Nassar was stabbed multiple times in prison. So, it's just a good day. Good day all around.
This is a big thing with me. You guys have heard me use this saying before. What?
No.
Sometimes things work themselves out.
Yep.
If you just let it play out. I'm talking about the Steve Yzerman trade. What are you guys talking about? Sometimes you just let things play out and issues take care of themselves.
Oh, Lord. Very true. Very true. It's like karma. It's like what goes around comes around. Poetic justice.
I worked at the State News when that story dropped, and they were taking everybody off of every beat, and we're like, you're doing Nassar stuff. You're doing, go out there and find some people. It was crazy. But yeah, got what came to him. Shout out random prison inmate.
Sometimes things take care of themselves.
But isn't it amazing how things happen like in prison when people are supposed to be kind of guarded? It's amazing how things happen.
Yep.
Right? Like,
it's almost like they're their own society.
They do. But think about it. Like, what's the other guy that had the island that
Epstein?
Epstein, like, strangled himself.
Yeah.
How? Well, I mean, shoestrings? Explain it, man.
It's a different world.
Explain it.
It's a different world than there.
It happened.
Right. Yeah, so, yeah, really weird. Simo313, the only problem is he didn't finish him off this time.
You may not succeed, but you can always try.
You can always try again. Well, that's the mark, when people look to improve their character, Maybe that's a character flaw they have. They say, hey, I start things, but I don't finish them. Mm-hmm. It takes some work.
Sometimes you just gotta, keep trying, and then you'll finish the job. I believe in you, random nameless prisoner. I believe in you.
I have a feeling that this will be a very heavy topic on the heavyweights.
Oh, yeah.
From 5 to 7 today on Woodward Sports. You don't want to miss it.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
As the great Aaliyah would say, if at first you don't succeed, try again, try again. So good. Try again, try again. Such a banger, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But prophetic for this.
Yeah. R.I.P. Aaliyah.
R.I.P.
I think he'll be under maximum security from now on, though.
Well,
I know.
You know,
I know.
They'll protect him.
everybody's got to pee eventually.
Oh, God. No.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread, Bill Foster. All you people that doubted Steve Yzerman, I hope you feel stupid now. Well, it depends on what their narrative is, though, Bill. Like, a lot of people have 180'd in this town. You'll hear that today throughout the course of the media reports and everything that goes down. But the moral of the story is they got a 40-goal guy. I asked for goals.
Goals, you did.
We got a guy that scores goals. Mm-hmm. Brought him home. And look, the small thing, all that stuff, dude, I don't care about that stuff. I care about goals. I'm hyped for the power play, Spenny.
Yeah, power play's gonna be nice.
I'm hyped for it, man.
Got some weapons on it now.
Absolutely. I'm hyped when we broadcast at Dispo, too.
I'm hyped for this Friday because we're going to be back at Dispo. Shout out to Dispo. Join us, the Dispo family, live at their Hazel Park location July 14th for Ermanni and Edwards and the Woodward Heavyweights, live from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come prepared as Dispo takes your cannabis experience to new heights. Located at 634 West 9 Mile Road, Hazel Park, Michigan. See you there for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the Woodward Heavyweights live July 14th at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, NBA champion. Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel. Spencer Raxter here with you. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Sound Kayak. Please get Neal some gummies on Friday.
You want some gummies? I can get you some gummies.
Now, I have to go to the airport after the show.
That's even better.
Yeah, but I have to get to the airport. I have to get to the airport.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Then, all bets are off.
What's so? Me and my friend, when we went to Cali last time, we were, on our way back, and we had to finish all of our substances before we went to the airport. So we were ripping joints, smoking blunts. Like right before, we had probably an 8er left and 4 pre-rolls. So we were just knocking it down before we get to the airport. And as we're walking through the airport, my boy Mustache is like, we get past security, get past through everything, bag check, all that stuff. We're walking to our plane. He's like, "Where's my bag?" I was like, "Dude, you checked it. We did bag check. They have it already." He was like, "Oh yeah." We kept going. It's a good time. Cali's always a good time.
That guy Matt, I'm just happy the Boston Bruins got exposed and taken out in the first round by America's team. my Florida Panthers. So yes, that was the case there. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about it. How about this one? And I want to get Spencer's take on it. And it just rolled away. I believe it was Rick. Yes, Rick said the other sports station in town will be backpedaling like the heavyweights do on Jared Goff.
Oh,
no backpedaling over here on Jared Goff. I've been very firm and solid with my status on him, and I will be until the end of time.
And if you have to go down with the ship,
I'll be playing the violin on the Titanic.
Spencer Raxter will be like, as the water the water just overtakes him. Here you are. I will give you credit. You're not one of these people. You're not like other media entities in this town that are going to flim flam and 180 and just say no. Goff's great. You are steadfast in your take.
No, yeah, I'm standing firm, standing pat. And if he proves me wrong, I'd be happy. Because my whole thing is you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. That's where I've been there. That's where I'm at. And if he proves me wrong,
so it makes sense now, Spinmo.
Yeah,
it all makes sense. That's why you will not go all in on the Super Bowl for the Lions.
That's part of it. Yeah.
He's getting a 16 tattoo if they win it.
Yeah, we talked about that. Grit on the stomach, 16 behind the ear.
He's getting a 16 behind the ear.
And I hope I have to. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope I have to get that tattoo. It'll be the best day of my life because the Lions won a Super Bowl. But, we'll see.
Just like Sam Flannel will get a 3 HOF behind his ear if the Pistons win the NBA championship this year.
Oh, this year?
Yes.
Fine. I'll take it.
He said fine.
Adam Silver, you know what to do.
Yes. I love it.
I don't think, we don't have to worry about the Pistons winning the championship. But I am expecting the Lions to compete for the Super Bowl. And there were a lot of people asking me, well, why did I change so fast? I said, because you guys convinced me to change. You guys were so hyperactive about how great this team was going to be and the additions and all this stuff. You got me. So how could you guys change me, but you guys still are in limbo as far as wanting to say, hey, we're Super Bowl contenders?
Ryan's reaction says Lions might not even make the playoffs. Lorena Rios, Neal, you going to break down the whole DeBrincat deal or not? Lorena, what have we done for the last? What did I do for the first 3 segments?
Who's asking that?
I'll give you the cliff notes, all right? So the Red Wings made their trade, right? They traded a first, a fourth, Kubalik, and a prospect. They got back DeBrincat. They signed DeBrincat to a 4-year, $31.5 million deal. DeBrincat took a couple less bucks. He has the no-trade clause in there. He's kind of betting on himself a little bit. He'll be a free agent at the age of 30. What he's hoping is off of 4 40-goal seasons and a Stanley Cup championship, as Spencer said, then he'll be looking to cash in because the NHL salary cap will go up a pretty good amount over the next couple years because of all the money they escrowed to get through COVID. That is something that's going to happen. I think that plays a part in what he's going to do. I think that's why part of the reason he took the contract that he took. The Red Wings traded a first-round pick to them, as we said. They reserve the right to choose which first-rounder they send because, as a lot of you know, the Red Wings will have their pick and they will have the Boston Bruins pick. They will get to decide which first-rounder they send to Ottawa. So you let the season play out. Maybe Boston craters, a la the way the Rams did. That becomes a top 10 pick. And the Red Wings make the playoffs, and they're picking 19th. So you say, all right, we'll send you our pick. We're taking Boston's pick. They have the leverage in that scenario. And it was a case where Steve Yzerman just waited them out. And that's the way that it worked because there was no other place that DeBrincat could have gone. Reports were it was the Red Wings and the Islanders. The Islanders had like $300,000 of cap space. That was it. There was nowhere else for him to go. And for the people that want to say, well, DeBrincat made this trade, I would say the financial flexibility, which is something I talk about all the time, Lindsey.
Absolutely.
That's what the Pistons have, that's what the Lions have, and that's what the Red Wings have, which is the reason that the the tide is turning for those organizations because it is a financial game, Lindsey. Is it a player's game? Yes. But the finances have just as much to do with it in today's day and age, Lindsey. And Lindsey, look, you were a coach in the NBA. You've seen how this has kind of played out. That's a fair assessment, right? Absolutely. Finances are and draft capital as important now as they have ever been.
Always. And especially with the cap rules constantly changing, you have to be able to manipulate the cap with flexibility. That's the only way you can do it. There's no other way. And salaries are astronomical now, especially in our league. Like, man, I wish I was still playing.
Yes. And Neal, I got to get this in. I love how you just casually glossed over, if he has 40-goal seasons in a Stanley Cup. If he does that, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's one of the better Red Wings of all time. That would be insane.
That's my caveats and Spenmo's caveats.
Yep.
But if that happens, oh my God, that would be one of the greatest trades in NHL history, right? 4 40-goal seasons, that would give him 6 on his career, first ballot Hall of Famer.
And a Stanley Cup.
And a Stanley Cup, yes.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brenna says if Boston's top 10 next year, Boston can defer it till 2025. I was not aware of that caveat on that pick. Okay, so Boston crashes and they're picking 11.
Yeah. And if Boston's the top 10 pick next year, you can defer it to 2025, and then the Red Wings can choose between theirs this year or Boston's in 2025 to give.
There you go.
Yeah, so either way, they get to choose the better pick.
There we have it. Mm-hmm. So same principle. Semantics, yes, same principle. That's where we know that it is. And again, it's just something where it's been consistent, and it's been something where we've seen Steve Yzerman do this before. Steve Yzerman does things on his terms. I know the buzzword's going to be he didn't wear a ski mask and do it, that you're going to hear on a lot of the other media entities. But, that's what it is. Someone asked you, Lindsey, in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, do you think the NBA draft lottery is rigged?
Oh, man. I'm not the one to talk down on my league. I can't answer that because I really don't know. It feels rigged sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
The Zion pick, that was rigged. Wemby to the Spurs, that was rigged.
Well, see, then we could keep going because think about it. Every year something strange happens where there's the Bulls get the number 1 pick. Oh, Derrick Rose.
Their odds were really low, though. That was pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not saying it's rigged, but here's the question: when the Pistons won and got Cade Cunningham, was that the one year where it wasn't rigged, or was that one rigged to the Pistons as well? Because I keep being told that everybody hates Detroit, so we gotta be fair about it.
Sure,
they hate us for sure.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Chad Fisher says, "Why do I not see the lottery balls? Because that would be the most boring television of all time."
Yeah.
Guys, you got to think, man. Like, this thing is condensed to an hour. Right. They gotta keep it cooking. That whole process takes 3 hours? Mm-hmm. Like the lottery balls.
Yeah, but it's just ironic that every year when it's a significant pick, it just seems to fall the way that it's supposed to, or the way for the betterment of the league, I should say. Like think about it. Cavs, LeBron.
Yeah.
Later on, Cavs, Kyrie, the Andrew Wiggins one that they were able to flip for Kevin Love, and of course we're not going to talk about the Anthony Bennett one. That was awful. But those other two helped get LeBron James back.
That's what happens, man. When you lose a superstar, if you trade a superstar to a better market, if LeBron leaves you and goes to Miami, you're going to get rewarded for it. If you trade Anthony Davis from New Orleans to Los Angeles, you're going to get rewarded for it.
You know what? I never thought of it that way. There does seem to be a paper trail on that.
It is what it is.
Well, explain the Spurs thing then. I don't know.
They want Pop still in the league?
Yeah, man. But I said this. I said this long before everything happened. I don't know if I said it on the show, but I was talking, sports talk with somebody, and I was like, dude, it just makes sense that the Spurs are going to get the pick because of Popovich's history with big men. You have the whole French connection with Tony Parker. I said, I just feel like it's going to happen.
I made a coffee bet with Neal on that.
Lo and behold.
I had the Spurs and he had the field.
Oh, that's right. I got to get you that coffee,
Yeah.
too. I forgot about that.
And just it happened the way, and now Pop just signed a 5-year, $80 million deal.
Coincidence? I think not.
George Eagle says the Orlando Magic getting 2 picks in the first round ended up being Shaq and Penny Hardaway. Well, they got Chris Webber.
Yeah, they got
Remember?
Chris Webber. They traded. Yeah,
They
Golden
got
State,
Shaq, and then they drafted Chris Webber, and then they traded him to Golden State for Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, and Philly could have drafted Penny. I think Philly could have drafted Penny, but they drafted 7'6" kid from BYU.
Sean Bradley. Who people call a bust, but had a 14-year career.
No, he was not a bust.
I agree.
He was not a bust.
I 100%.
Anthony Bennett was a bust.
Anthony Bennett was a bust.
And he had a great summer league, and they were ranting and raving about him in the summer league. Oh my God, he's gonna be great.
I remember in one of my in my sports journalism class, we talked to the president of the Cavaliers after that draft, and we got to each ask him questions. I walked up to him, and I was like, "So, I was like, you guys had a lot of luck, going in and getting the lottery 3 times in a row, like." But what was going on with that Anthony Bennett pick? Like, do you guys regret you missed out on Giannis, Rudy Gobert, C.J. McCollum, different players like that? And he looked at me. He's like, nobody thought Giannis was going to be Giannis. Nobody knew Giannis was going to be Giannis. He's like, yeah, it was the pick didn't work out, but we made the best pick to our ability.
Well, that's the thing, though. Giannis fell to 15. I think Rudy Gobert was 27. What was C.J. McCollum? Somewhere in the lower top 10?
Yeah, I think it was 10.
That was a very weak draft at the very top. I think the number 2 overall pick, was it Oladipo?
Yeah, it was, Alex Len was in the top 5. And
not a good draft.
Yeah.
What certainly was
Nerlens
not.
Noel was in the top 5, too.
They were so high on him.
Yeah.
I was never high on him.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I am high on? Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. I will give you that. They have the classic breakfast items, the strawberry hotcakes, the red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person? I'm not. The strawberry bacon chicken wrap? I am that kind of person, though. And you can cool off with a refreshing summer splash salad. Don't forget about dessert. The Berry Delicious, the OG of the Strawberry Fest, strawberry pie, deep fried vanilla Oreos, or the strawberry hot fudge cake. All of that and more. Get to Strawberry Fest at Big Boy.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipco.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
In hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Ski Mask Boy, hey, how about DeBrincat? Subscribe to the podcast. We spent the first hour on it. We've covered it every single way we can. Lindsey, here's a question from Rod.
Okay, Rod.
Who's a better GM, Magic Johnson or Steve Yzerman?
That's facetious, right? Like,
What? Is he serious? Like, is he really serious?
He asked.
How long did Magic even last as a GM?
Like 30 minutes.
I ain't gonna be here. That's the best thing ever.
Yo, that was the funniest meme
They're
ever.
talking about, growing as a team and everything we're gonna get. I'm just like, I ain't gonna be here. I love that shit, man.
Well,
That was pretty cool.
Well,
Smart
Magic
dog.
did convince LeBron to come to LA, though, right? Supposedly.
He did.
Supposedly.
Major League Baseball draft. I did want to touch on this because I saw people talking about it. Tigers took the high school outfielder, Max Clark, out of Franklin Community High School. There's a bunch of high school stats on there. I don't care about those because...
Gatorade National Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, which is cool. You know, the stats are... I'll say it this way. High school baseball stats are easily manipulated.
Yeah, I hit like 430 in high school baseball.
That's a fact. You know, what I'm saying, like, they're easily manipulated. Lindsey, I do want to get your take on this because here's my takeaway from what Scott Harris did in the draft yesterday. And you can debate, you know, the Wyatt Langford thing. I would have leaned towards a college bat, but I'm not going to give you a breakdown of Max Clark in his high school season. I want to get into it more philosophically with you because with what the Tigers did in the draft yesterday, it was very clear that Scott Harris has an agenda, an identity, if you will, of what he wants to do. He wants hitters that dominate the strike zone. He values speed. He values the ability to steal bases, which I think we're seeing this year is more important than maybe it's ever been. But what I like with what I saw, and you can debate the high school college thing, he's rolling through this draft with an identity, Lindsey. And Joe Dumars in the Bad Boys 30 for 30 had this great line. He said, think about all the good teams ever in the history of sports. They all had an identity. You can't win with zero identity.
Right.
And I think what Scott Harris has done, Lindsey, is he's attacked this draft and he's going to get what he wants. He's going to get the identity of players that he wants. And he's executing it, man. No matter whether you agree or disagree, which, again, I'm more of a college bat guy myself, but I can't argue that he's doing things his way.
Well, most GMs, I remember working in the front office, and we had a systematic approach where we had Son's DNA and all these things that equated to what a player needed to be in order for us to buy into him. And I would imagine every team has that sort of thing where this is our DNA, this is what we look for, these are the attributes physical wise that we look for, mentally this is what we look for, attitude and all those things. And that's how you start building your identity, like you said. And that's, every team has to have certain DNA qualities that GM is looking for to build it the way he thinks it should look.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, that guy Matt. Apparently the kid the Tigers took going to be the next Bryce Harper. People are saying he's not going to have 50 home runs. Like, easy, guys. He's not going to have 50 home run seasons, but he's very, very fast. The projections are he'll push Riley Green to a corner outfield spot, that his speed, giving the size of the center field, we always hear that, the size of center field at Comerica Park.
And he hits everything.
Yeah. And doesn't strike out.
Yeah.
Command of the strike zone.
And he's got a cannon for an arm.
Plus arm.
Yeah.
That's again, I didn't stream their games. I didn't see it myself. But these are the projections. And, you know, I like it philosophically, Lindsey.
Right.
Because there is a guy. It's not, I don't want to say Alavila used a dartboard, but the outcome suggests that he may have used a dartboard. I like that when a guy rolls in and says, this is how I'm doing things.
This is my plan. This is my, yeah. But my question always in baseball is because you always hear about, you know, the farm system in baseball. It's a big thing. Their developmental teams, how many kids that they have in it. And I've actually visited one before. They don't do a very good job. They don't do a very good job of developing the young talent that's on those, you know, developmental programs, because you see there's 50 young kids there.
There's 20 rounds of the draft every year, yeah.
And they may get one. You're lucky if you get two that become integral parts of your organization.
Yeah, I mean, they got to go to the minors for a few years. You never know. But what's funny is, I know, Neal, we don't want to get bogged down in his high school stats because they're largely unimportant. And I'm giving this caveat, I would have taken Wyatt Langford as well. But Max Clark, his senior year of high school, had an on-base percentage of .808. That means, 19% of the time he walked to the plate, he was out. And he had an OPS of an absolutely absurd 2.023.
Jesus.
An amazing OPS is over 1. You're an MVP consideration. But 2, I get it, it's high school, but that is insane even for high school. I'm not just going to gloss over that.
No, and again, right, that's cool. High school stats very easily manipulated to the point where the coach just has to go to the scorebook and change
No,
it.
I get it, but that just jumps off of the screen.
It does, and don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on it.
And he's got 300,000 Instagram followers.
That's true.
There is that. There's a bit of Zion feel to it.
But here's the thing, though, and I kind of equate this to basketball because we look at high school kids and you look at their numbers, and I always go back to say it doesn't matter if he's high school or whatever, G League or whatever. If you have astronomical numbers in high school, then you know he has something to him.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and look at Darko's numbers in the league he was in, he didn't average double figures.
Yeah.
Red flag, right?
Right.
Kobe averaged, 38 in high school? LeBron averaged, 30 something?
Mm-hmm.
All those high school guys were jumping off the screen at you.
Right.
So you knew, like, oh, yeah, he's a pro. But if a guy, unless a guy, just has some other innate ability to do something and they're averaging under 10 points, then you got to question it.
As a wise man, Troy Weaver once said, I think Holly Berry looks good in the grocery store and in church.
Right.
If he's putting up numbers, he's putting up numbers.
She might be crazy, but she looks good.
Facts.
Who might argue with that, man? There's no question about that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and I wanted to pull this up because I do think it's important. Where was it at? Oh, Simo313. Stop acting like you know about Bray Wyatt Langston or WTF. He is. All I know is dude hit almost 50 home runs the last 2 years in the SEC. That's not nothing. Like, they play LSU and stuff like that. And if things are close to me, I'm always going to take the power, especially in today's day and age. But I'm not going to be critical of it because there is an identity. That's all I can ask for. I see what he's doing. I enjoy that. There's a plan. So yeah, we're just kind of kicking it back and forth, and people killing you, Sam Flannel, about Stats Boy, even in the Indiana high school baseball stats. Your thoughts?
It's not that hard to find. It's just none of us really knew much about Max Clark. If you say you did, you're either like a huge geek or you're lying. So I had to just look up some numbers, and those ones really just stood out to me because I'm a big on-base percentage and OPS guy, and his, even for high school, was crazy. Actually, speaking of Max Clark, our very own Brady Wood in the back in sales, Max Clark, he says, has better become Bryce Harper after passing on Langford. And we were talking about it briefly in the back. I don't necessarily agree with Bryce Harper because Bryce Harper's a 2-time MVP, future Hall of Famer, but I do understand the sentiment that if Wyatt Langford comes out of the gate in a year and a half and is raking in the MLB, there might be a few questions, at least until Max Clark gets here.
Real quick, Lindsey, Chuck Brewer wants to know, Lindsey, how many practices did it take before the players knew Darko was a mistake?
We didn't take a practice. We missed on Carmelo. You need a practice to know you didn't take Carmelo.
I think there's two answers to that, right? Well, obviously the Melo thing, but taking that aside, and here's, Lindsey, here's kind of my interpretation of the answer. People forget this. Like, Darko got a $20 million contract from the Timberwolves and was a 10-6 guy for a couple seasons in the league.
Right. No, he was solid. He was solid. He just wasn't what
Carmelo and Bosh and Wade.
When you have a draft like that and the top guys are shoe-in first ballot Hall of Famers, you can't miss. Like, you missed on Melo, Bosh, Wade. Come on, man. Any one of those guys would have made us better.
Right.
You know, and you took a.
But he was an NBA guy.
Like Melo would have had a chip.
Maybe.
I'm not
Definitely.
saying Darko was an NBA player. He was an NBA player, but he wasn't in the.
And that's kind of changed over time, right? Where because we speak in so much absolutes now,
Right.
the concept of an NBA player is lost. You're either a bust or you're a Hall of Famer, championship winner. There is no middle class anymore.
Well, this is what people don't understand. There are more role players in the NBA than there are Hall of Famers.
Right.
But you're still an NBA player, you know? So, yeah, Darko was a NBA player, no doubt.
Rich Diana, you were right, Neal. We should have unloaded Erod before he got tigerized. I'm sorry, Rich.
Hey, who is CMO313? He said Darko just needed guidance, but the black players didn't like him.
Well, Lindsey, can you comment on that?
That's a lie. Who did CMO? Where do you get that crap from? We loved him. We loved him as a person. We took Darko in with open arms. It was just too much to ask of a young guy that didn't have, you know, the type of talent to play on a championship caliber team
At that moment,
Yes, and you're in practice going against monsters, so that wasn't good for his confidence. And Larry Brown, you know, didn't really like international players like that, so you know it was tough on him.
CMO313, I can't believe he read that one. This is public record, CMO. When you put your name on it, bro.
Exactly.
We're going to it.
Don't hide.
I just figured, like, we had the source here of your question. So, like, I could just ask the question, Lindsey, and you could provide the answer. And you did.
Yes. Yeah, you talking about the black players didn't like him. CMO, where do you get your information? Obviously not from a real source.
Tell them about Swiss Insurance, Flannel.
Absolutely. Best insurance there is. And now that summer's here, it is important to make sure you are properly covered, whether it's a grad party or just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool. Your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure you are protected from an unexpected loss. Check us out at swissins.com or call Mark today at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, here with you, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Also, and Jermaine Stewart, welcome to the Woodward crew. Happy to have you with us here up in this show on Big D Energy. Maybe a big crowd here watching today. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. What should they do after that, Spenny?
5-star.
Give it a 5-star if you would be so kind. All right, Lindsey. Steve has a question for you. Steve, do me a favor, man. We'll do Ask Lindsey, the last segment of the show. Circle back to that one because I'm curious to get his take on it. But NBA Summer League, Asur Thompson, the number 5 overall pick. We're, hope and draft and young players. That's the order of the day here. And I'm glad that we got a chance to get to this because over the weekend I was away on vacay. I was at dinner. I watched the game, but I didn't watch the game. And Lindsey, I want to run some things by you about Asur Thompson. My biggest takeaway, and it's Summer League. There are no absolutes with this. His game, he played on brand, I thought. Wasn't hunting to score or anything like that. Took his opportunities. Spenmo talked about during the break. Very good in transition. Could defend. The stat sheet was stuffed when he was done playing. My early returns are good. Again, it's the summer league.
Right.
But Lindsey, what I like to look for, was he on brand? He was to the T what we were told. How was he defensively?
He was really good defensively. He was.
Give me the why.
He showed signs of and great anticipation, playing passing lanes. His length bothered guys. Really moved his feet well at this level. You know, I know it's really chaotic because it's the summer league, but you can see with the proper guidance and the right system that he could be a stud defensively. You know,
If only they could bring in a coach.
we got one
that works. You know, that you just kind of go off the checklist of. No, but I'm kidding, obviously. But I am, and I was more excited about Asur Thompson than most because, and I told you the story on it. I adjusted my expectations,
right?
Because that's what happens when you get the number 5 pick. History tells us you're not getting a Hall of Fame guys at number 5.
Right.
I adjusted my expectations. I adjusted what I wanted going into the draft. I wanted an Asur Thompson type player. Maybe not the shooter, the 3-and-D, but you need an Asur Thompson to win in this league, Lindsey. You do.
Yeah, and I think he'll be a 3-and-D guy. I think he'll work on his shot because that's something you can fix.
Ooh, I like this. Real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Detroit supremacy. And this is a vibe, Detroit supremacy. And you verbated what I wanted to say. You just came up with a way to say it. Asur is what Stanley Johnson was supposed to be.
Yeah, I read that.
That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, but who was in that draft with Stanley Johnson?
Justice Winslow?
No. Who could we have taken?
Justice Winslow. I was told it was a
No.
mistake they didn't take Justin Winslow.
No. That was the
Booker.
That was the Devin Booker.
That was Devin Booker draft.
That's who we should have taken.
Yes.
Shit.
But again, sorry to cut you off
That's
there.
okay. No.
Defensively, where were we at in the story?
No, he has potential to be a star defensively, and like I said, I think he'll be a 3-and-D guy because I think he'll work on his shot to the point where he's a, 35+% 3-point shooter. He has all the intangibles, man. Very fluid, very athletic. I liked everything about what I saw with him and Sasser. I like both of them. I love Sasser. Showed that he can create off the bounce. He can read pick and roll for a young guy. I'm excited about those young guys, man. I'm so excited. I'm sure I'm shooing in a playoff berth for our Pistons. I'm going all the way in for the playoffs. Yes. Yes.
Well, okay, Lindsey. Talk your talk, man.
I'm all the way in.
Steve Reinert says he reminded me of Draymond Green a little bit. Like a raw Draymond.
I don't see that. I don't see
It's
way more athletic than Draymond.
Yeah, that's not
and not quite, and obviously because he's 18,
Yeah.
And he's not going to be quite the agitator that Draymond is.
Well, people,
that
people forget Draymond went
that's
to
an
college.
acquired skill.
Draymond went to college.
Yeah.
He played in the Big Ten. He was seasoned.
Spartan dog.
Yeah, so when he came into the league, we knew what Draymond was, a playmaking forward. This kid is, going to develop into hopefully a 3-and-D special defender,
Jalen Duren.
Oh, man, he looked good.
He went off.
He looked good. What really surprised me about him, I watched him make a couple of moves off the bounce and pull up with the jumper, and it looked so natural. Because, guys that work on certain stuff, some of them look so robotic. He looked so fluid and natural. I was like, wow. I was impressed.
I'm telling you guys, and I'm doubling down because of exactly what you said right there. He put the work in.
Yes.
On the shot looked different.
Yes.
It did.
No, he hit threes.
That's what I'm saying. The shot looked different.
And he took, was hitting jumpers off the bounce. He and Wiseman looked really good together.
Lindsey, Jalen Duren, and I'm doubling down on this, has the capability to be the biggest star on this roster. Lindsey,
no, I'm not doubting
it's
that.
out there.
I'm not doubting that.
We know what he is rebounding the basketball. Ermanni Williams' system, where the pick and roll, and I gave you guys the numbers.
But
DeAndre Ayton, what Monty Williams made DeAndre Ayton into.
Well, Chris Paul made DeAndre Ayton.
Well, the Pistons got a pretty good backcourt too, brother.
Yeah.
With the coach, with the scheme.
But you gotta understand, like.
But Lindsey, it comes down to this, right? If he can pop.
Right. If he can pick and pop.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
For real, if Jalen Duren can pop.
But I'm not even concerned about him picking and popping, because watching him mature through last season, he was destroying the paint, and he got to the point where he could catch on a short, we call it a short roll, where you don't roll all the way to the rim, you roll into the little open gap. He was catching short roll passes, going by guys, finishing at the rim and making plays. Like, if he continues to get better at that, and he'll be a monster, because he's an athletic freak, and he's strong as an ox. I'm just telling you, I'm excited about Duren and Wiseman. I watched them play together, and they do have a little chemistry with one another.
And again, like, this is something I've been on for a while, and that it's only reinforced with Monty Williams here, with what we've seen from Jalen Duren. And yes, and you guys know this, man. Like, when I draw a line in the sand, I draw a line in the sand with this, and it's wild, and it's met with resistance. But I'm telling you guys this, man. It's gonna be special.
Yeah.
Special. And if the Pistons Lindsey, if the Pistons are in the playoffs this year, then that means Jalen Duren was in the All-Star game.
They will be. They'll be in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. Now, they may be 8th, 7th seed, but I expect them to be in the playoffs. So that means they'll win, 40-plus games?
It would take 40. So wait, Neal, you actually thinking, I don't necessarily hate it that Jalen Duren can be an all-star this year.
I'm saying, like, if the Pistons are a playoff contender, then that means he took a huge, because work backwards on it, Flannel.
Yeah.
Is Cade and Jaden Ivey, is that enough alone to make the Pistons a playoff contender?
Nope.
What would it take?
I mean, it would take, among other things, Jalen Duren taking a huge leap as well. And I could see that. I mean, he's obviously going to get more minutes. I mean, his per 36, he was averaging about 13 and 13. So I don't necessarily hate it. But yeah, but I also don't think the Pistons are going to the playoffs this year. But they're definitely going to be a lot better.
But if they are, you see when I work back, you see how I'm working backwards on that? Okay. Entertain the discussion. Let's work backwards from it. Obviously, Cade would play the whole season, be what he was when he went down. That's what it would take, Lindsey. You know, like, you're assuming those things too. You're just not saying that, but
absolutely.
you're assuming.
Yeah, if Cade, if these guys stay healthy, you have a healthy Cade, a healthy Ivy. You got Bogey, you got Joe from Brooklyn. The pieces are there. I don't care what anybody says. I think they're a playoff team.
Okay, so then let me back up.
I'm rolling with that.
Pretend you didn't just say I don't care what anybody says. And let me tell you this from the WoodSports.com chat thread. Sue Yu says, Lindsey's delusional. Pistons barely win 25 games. They look bad. Ivy's a turnover machine and can't shoot.
Who said that?
Sue Yu in the WoodSports.com chat thread.
Sue Yu. Shut up, Sue Yu. I don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Okay?
Chuck also says Duren has, and this is big, Duren has that dog in him.
Yeah, he does.
Raw body skill. You ain't stepping to Jalen. You don't want the problems he presents.
No.
In a professional or personal manifestation. You don't want anything he's offering.
That is not a guy I would want to confront. Even as a young man, he is a giant human being.
You don't want to handle that man's luggage, bro.
No, you do not.
People are saying the Bulls didn't. Who is this? Brandon Katz again says the Bulls didn't make the playoffs. They have Vucevic, DeRozan, and Levine, and their coach wasn't that well liked.
Yeah.
How'd you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Brilliant Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you can do just that. It's a Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information coming soon.
enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Lindsey, Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. All right, so we've kind of taken the long way around it. I'll propose this question to Lindsey first, and then we'll go to all of you. All right, Mr. Lindsey Hunter, who's more likely to make the playoffs next year, the Red Wings or the Pistons, right here, right now?
I'm going to say both.
Who's more likely, Lindsey? That wasn't the question.
I know, but I'm still stuck at both. I think they both will make the playoffs. You said who's more likely to make it? Oh, man. Probably the Red Wings are more playoff ready with the move they made.
But you're calling, okay. Hey, that was a great media backpedal.
But I'm still
Prime Deion Sanders couldn't backpedal like that one, Lindsey.
I'm still thinking they both make it, though. I'm still thinking.
Take notes on that one, Sam Flannel.
Yes, it is absolutely the Red Wings. They're at a different stage in the rebuild than the Pistons. I mean, what I always say is that with the Red Wings, you've seen it in the win column a little bit. They went from being terrible to 32 wins to 35, and this is the year with the addition of Alex DeBrincat that I think they can absolutely get over the top. And with the Pistons, unfortunately, with the Troy Weaver rebuild, there have been a lot of things that we like the Duran pick, the Cade pick, the Jaden Ivey pick, but so far it has not showed at all in the win column. I think it changes this year. I think they win. My prediction is 34, but 34 won't get you into the playoffs. Give me the Wings.
Benjamin Foe says Lindsey's delusional. Larry Brown and Zeke ain't walking through that door. Killian Hayes is.
He didn't watch the draft. He doesn't see that Cade didn't play last year. Jaden Ivey.
We did forget. I've said this for a long time. We all forgot that Cade Cunningham played like 9 games last year.
I think a full season of Cade Cunningham and Monty Williams alone adds like 15 wins.
I can't kill you on that. Yeah. I think it's aggressive, but I can't kill you on that. Yeah. It's so hard to move 15 games in an NBA season. It's hard.
But how can you do that?
Go get a coach. Get your
yeah.
Get your 1-1 back for the full year.
Yeah.
No, you're giving me the path, but again, you work backwards from it. You see it like that. Can we woodwardsports.com chat pull that one?
I think it's going to be
90-10.
I don't even think it'll be that close.
We could ask the question, do you like sunshine? and it wouldn't be 92-8.
Yeah,
it would
that's fair.
Be 90-10 at a minimum. So there's that. Brandon says that's a bad take by Flannel. Detroit's been trying to lose.
I mean, whether they have been or not, they haven't. This is the year where they have to at least make a jump in the win column. I can excuse some tanking, but that doesn't mean that they haven't won 60 games in 3 seasons. You can't do that again.
Lorena Rios, talk Tigers combined no-hitter. Okay, no problem. You got it. Tigers threw a combined no-hitter. It was the only win of the series. They had to shut out the Toronto Blue Jays and not give up a hit for them to win one of the games of the series. I didn't understand this. Like, was it cool? Yeah, it's cool. It's nice. Like, it's neat. I like it. I enjoyed it. I turned it on. I was walking around, the dirty streets of Philadelphia with my phone on, watching it. Wanting them to see him do it. I liked it. And it's a nice little side note, but it is also the only game they won of the series. Did I miss anything on that, Flannel?
Nope.
No, you did not. If they would have won yesterday and shut the door,
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, that loss was bad, but also the other loss in the other Tarek Skubal start in which he threw a shutout and they still lost. They lost 1-0 to Oakland in 10 innings. Those 2 games were just absolute killers. If they win both of those, I'm actually pretty high on the Tigers hype train right now. But they didn't. They went 2-4 on that homestand. Not good enough.
I mean, that's it. That's all. And it does. It kills the vibe. Did you guys see that story, by the way, about that lady that divorced her husband who had cancer because he was, quote, killing her vibe?
Oh, yeah. No. I saw that.
That's,
it's a cruel world, man.
Jesus.
It's a cruel world, man.
What's wrong with your guys' generation?
Hey.
Notice how when it fits the narrative, I'll say, hey, according to U.S. News and World Report, I'm a millennial. But when ish like this happens, I excuse myself from that and say, what's wrong with your generation?
Killing her vibe. Please don't kill my vibe.
Yeah, bitch, don't kill my vibe and get cancer. Come on, that's basically what she said. That is so cruel. But I do people not understand? And I always say this. I take my wedding vows as seriously as anything that I take in my entire life. I'm sure you guys do as well. And that's just...
Unless she kills your vibe.
Right. That's the thing. That's not a divorceable offense. This isn't like the you do you boo kind of thing. You're married to the man. That's a big commitment.
No, but while it wasn't the exact same impact, the Tigers losing those games in that series did kill my vibe about the no-hitter, Lorraine. I'm sorry. Like, it did. It just... It did. Like Wednesday when I drove out there, listened to pretty much the whole game. Pretty much the whole game on the satellite radio. That was the game they lost 12-0 or 12-3, whatever it was. And then yesterday, I turned the game on. We leave yesterday morning. I get about 2 hours outside the dirty city of Philadelphia. I turn the satellite radio on. I listen to the Tigers game. The whole state of Pennsylvania, which, look at a map. Look at it from east to west. The whole state of Pennsylvania, the Tigers were winning the game. Then they lose in the end. Like, it just, all it did, Lorena, was bother me. Because still we're talking about it. And still I got the text from my Alavila loyalist friends about, well, they're still 5.5. No, that's over. That's over. They're 11 games under 500. The leader in the division's at 500. What's the path where the Tigers make up 11 games with this team?
66% winning percentage. That's all we need.
What evidence? Here we are, running back the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
What evidence do you have to suggest that that's even remotely possible to happen when you just lost 2 or 3 to the A's?
Almago's back.
Piss off, Spencer. You did that to be a dick, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't like you for that. I thought you and I were cool, man.
Riley Green is back, though. So
he is.
That'll help a little bit.
He's a nice player.
Scooble looked good.
But Spenny, in both of Scooble's starts, the games ended in losses. That's the crime of it all, because it should be a sign of great hope for the Tigers. Tarek Scooble's back. I know they had him on a short leash and he only pitched 4 innings in both games, but he looked better than I've ever seen him. But in both games, the Tigers blew both of them. It was that's what is so sad about it all. It's the vibe. Tarek Skubal coming back.
They're killing your vibe.
They're killing my vibe. Just like that one lady's cancer-having husband is killing her vibe. Just terrible.
Katz is killing our vibe in the chat.
Yes, he's a habitual vibe killer.
Habitual. Steve Wilds. Neal's low-key the biggest Tigers fan. I'm one of them, for real. Believe it or not.
Yeah, you watch more Tigers than most
every
people.
day. Every day, I either watch it or turn it on the radio in the car.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Helps you with your emotions. You happy, sad, mad. So watching it helps you with your emotions.
But it all comes back to this, Michael Daniel. We need a left-handed first baseman, Neal. We do. And if we don't draft one today, I'm calling for Scott Harris's job tomorrow. It's the second day of the draft. It's a 20-round draft. If they do not draft a left-handed first baseman for Michael Daniel on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Lindsey, I tomorrow will get on these airwaves and call for Scott Harris's job publicly.
Hey, get ready, buddy.
Steve, Pennsylvania's a very wide state. If you're on the turnpike, it's like 4 hours long. It's longer than that, brother. It goes on forever. And the Tigers were winning the whole state.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence right when I got into Ohio was when that 9th inning happened?
That's because you talk so bad about Philly. They just let you get out of Philly happy, and then
I didn't make Philadelphia streets that dirty. They did that. I'm not taking the blame for that. Detroit, greater city than Philadelphia, right here, right now. Take away all the Constitution stuff, and Detroit would smash Philadelphia head up.
I'm a Detroit guy. I mean, of course we're better, but don't just kill Philly like that. They got the best cheesesteaks ever, bro.
That can't save them.
That saves.
That
them.
can't save them.
Don't save, huh?
The dirty streets, the rats running the streets. Saw them.
You didn't have a cheesesteak though, bro.
Yes, I did. I went and got one. It was average.
From where?
Geno's.
Never heard of it. You got to go to the hood.
That's okay.
I'm gonna find out the spot in the hood that she took me to, where you have to have people watching
I'll pull
your
up
back.
on it. Yeah.
You got to make sure you step out the car and order and get back in the car.
That's what you know they got the best food.
Exactly.
If parking lot looks like you're going to get stabbed, they got good food.
They got good food.
Right.
I don't dispute that.
Right.
I don't dispute that.
Yeah, you gotta go back.
Eric Palmer says Gino, and no, you guys don't get to do that. Gino sucks. So does the one across the street. No. You can't claim it as like their biggest commercial hit and then tell me it sucks. One or the other. Like, be on board. Guess what? Lafayette, American, both Coney Islands are good.
Lafayette's better.
But they're both good.
Yeah. I'd never go to American, though.
But if someone walked in here with Coney's from American, you smashing one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
People tell me, they're like, oh, I would never eat Geno's. Pat's is... No, like, they're both good at American Coney Island and National Coney Island, and all Coneys are
Shout
good.
out Nationals. Little known fact, Lafayette and American Coney Island use Nationals chili.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
They treat it with the onions, right?
My stomach hurt with chili on these Coneys.
Oh, Coney dogs are good, man. I love Coney dogs. I ate so many Coney dogs when I was a manager. It's a good time. I used to make some dank honeys, too.
Hey, let me tell you about Planet Fitness.
Perfect.
It's a great time to join right after you eat a Spencer Raxter Coney hot dog. No, you guys know the drill. $1 down, $10 a month, access to your home club. It's clean. I go there every single day. I can't recommend it enough, guys. Some of you paying a ton of money for a gym because it's got a rock wall. You're making a mistake. Planet Fitness has everything you need. There's over 2,000 of them around the world. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. It's very simple, guys. PlanetFitness.com. Pull in the parking lot of a couple. You're passing a few on the way home. Join there. However you got to do it. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Neal Ruhl here for 5 Iron Golf. Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf coming this July to downtown Detroit. That's right, the Cambria Hotel. It's Detroit's newest sports bar. 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, a full bar, and a restaurant as well. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout. You'll get 50% off your first visit, guys. Come on. Go to downtown Detroit. It's better than Philadelphia, for Christ's sake. So I'll see you down there at 5 Iron Golf. Go to 5irongolf.com for more information. Tee it up for good times. That's 5irongolf.com. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. You guys know what it is. You, too, in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNCENT says, I mean, would you recommend Little Caesars? I think Little Caesars gets unfairly slandered. I think Little Caesars solid, man.
Now that they're not $5,
You said they're solid?
You'll never catch me in a little.
They're fine. They're fine, dude. Like,
they're not.
It's a filler.
It's fine.
It's just a filler. Like if you're hungry, there's nothing else around.
That's all.
It's
but
bottom tier pizza.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. Like, and it's priced accordingly.
But you said it was solid. It's not.
It's for $6.
You know what's good? Franco's and Centerline. You can get just me and my dad live by it. It's the family deal, and it's got you get 1 2-topping large pizza, 1 4-topping large pizza, a thing of bread, a 2-liter. It's like $22.
Right, and I'm saying at Little Caesar you get a large pizza for $6, man.
Yeah, Franco's is better.
I'm not saying that it's not better, but I'm saying it's $6.
It's not worth it. We call them hot.
Okay,
we call them hot and sweaties for a reason. You know what? One thing, we had my boys like bachelor party 2.0 during COVID because we did the Benton Arbor golf trip for his actual Bay Arbor golf trip for his actual bachelor party, and then like a couple days before the wedding, he just had some guys over and we were chilling. And this is during COVID, and it was like 2 a.m. and we all wanted pizza. Obviously, nowhere's open because it's COVID, so everything's closed. And I was like, let's go to 7-Eleven. Like 7-Eleven pizza is not bad. And they were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And so it was the only place open. We called 7-Eleven.
Spinmo.
Had them make us like 3 large pizzas.
Spinmo, you guys were high out of your mind.
For sure.
But then it didn't matter what you guys ate.
We were about 8
it was gonna be good.
Deep, probably.
It was going to be good.
7-Eleven pizza, not bad. That's all I'm saying.
That's disgusting.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. It's fine to me. It is what it is. It's $6 for a reason, but it's $6.
I'd rather have a 7-Eleven pizza than a Little Caesars.
No, now stop, Lindsey. Say thank you. Right, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Quick poll.
Okay.
Little Caesars or 7-Eleven pizza? Come on.
I'm telling you guys.
Come on.
You order a pizza from 7-Eleven and have them make it for you, and it pops out hot. It's better than Little Caesars.
Cobezilla. Little Caesars Meat Lover Pizza is fire. If you say otherwise, you're lying to yourself and everyone else in this chat.
I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a pizza from Little Caesars that wasn't a hot and ready.
That's a good point.
That's fine.
Like, yeah, nobody orders a pizza from there. They just go pick one up.
And that's fine.
Rich Diana says 7-Eleven pizza is for the munchies. It's true. You normally just get a piece. You just get a piece, but I'm telling you, nowhere else was open. Little Caesars was closed. Hungry Howie's was closed. All the places were closed. 7-Eleven was open. You know, we can make this happen. And it was all my boys had the same reaction as you guys when I was like, 7-Eleven's got decent pizza. Oh, shut the fuck up. And then we got it, and they were all like, that's pretty good.
Real quick, Steve had this one. Question for you, Lindsey. We'll ride off on this. Okay, Neal, I'll save my question for Ask Lindsey. Lindsey, did Joe Dumars lose the locker room after the Darko pick? Or at what point did he lose the locker room, if at all?
We won the championship. What are you talking about?
6 straight Eastern Conference.
They give a damn
finals.
about Darko. We won the championship. It was an afterthought. Nobody cared. We were focused on winning the chip. I didn't lose no locker room. Stop it. Make that up. Don't make that up anymore. Don't do stuff like that.
Better pizza. Little Caesars, 84% over 7-Eleven pizza.
Uncultured.
Uncultured. I would argue the reverse.
I'm telling you guys, midnight, got a couple drinks in you.
Little Caesars pizza, where it's at $6 for a large.
Call 7-Eleven and be like, can you make me a fresh pizza? I'm going to come pick it up. It's better than Little Caesars. I'm telling you.
I'm inclined to believe you. I'm sure if I had a couple of rounds of Ciroc, I'd probably because Little Caesars sucks.
It sucks. It's all air.
It tastes like cardboard with cheese on
air.
it.
Yeah.
Cardboard
but
with
that
cheese.
7-Eleven pizza that's been there since lunch.
No, you gotta
That's
get
been
it
there
fresh.
since lunch.
You tell
That's
them
my
to make
only
it
worry.
fresh. Yeah.
Spitmo, that's my only worry. The shit sits there all day.
That's why you call them and you say, hey, pop a couple in the oven for me. They're fresh out of the oven. I'm telling you. Well, I don't know if they have an oven, but fresh out of
what the hell are they making it?
That's what I'm telling you.
The heat lamp cooks it?
It's good. Whatever it is, they do a good job. 7-Eleven is an
Honolulu Blue
institution.
Sparty says, coming from a gas station sushi guy.
I do not eat gas station sushi.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
Lindsey, appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for running
Always
tomorrow.
a good time.
D-Mac back. We'll be live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. For Lindsey, Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.